Let's see exactly what state it's in right now. So Kanturis is the Scottish dragon, and Snaker is the Chilean dragon. Go ahead and enlarge that real quick, and I'll go ahead and fix the title here. Alright, that's an updated. I can zoom in on this game here. Alright, so currently, I don't know what exactly happened in this game, but Kanturis does not look to be in a very good position at all. So 3 breaks already, and another province flipped. I don't know what happened. Meanwhile, 0 breaks for Kanturis. Only Fushimura so far has been revealed, and so looking at Snaker's board, he has this Monastery Protector with a hawk tattoo on it, as well as a Clouded Investigator. Not a whole lot of stats going on for Kanturis, and so we're going to hit the Season of War, and that actually ends up benefiting Kanturis a good bit because he finds the Mitsu off of that. So now he has a monk for a Sacred Sanctuary. Tranquil Philosopher is bought for Snaker. Now let's take a look and see what's happening in conflict already. So it looks like restricted card here is Fury. Okay. Fury with Crane Splash playing Gossip. 2 Void Fist have already been consumed. Meanwhile, for Kanturis, we've seen Policy Debate, Defend Your Honor, and Let Go. So this looks to be the Mitsu deck, but right now Kanturis in a situation where he doesn't have a whole lot of fate, so he can't really load up this Mitsu, but just having him on the board is already good enough for him to maybe potentially stall this out a little bit. So this match obviously very important. This is match point for Chile. Chile right now sitting at 3-2 in this matchup. They just won their game of of Lion versus Crane, with Lion for Chile coming out victorious over Tamago after a. It was pretty convincing, but there was some controversy there, which I think stemmed back from another game that happened earlier today. So, and we see a conflict over here into Fushimura, which actually bows Mitsu because he's only Glory 3. So, lots of fate available now on the rings, but doesn't really make a difference if your Mitsu's not accomplishing anything here. This Shintao Monastery could be a little bit important. I guess you don't mind so much that Mitsu's getting bowed here, just because you can restand him here with the Sacred Sanctuary. Kanturis is going to pass, and so now we're probably going to see hopefully not an all-in. I don't think that you can win this if you go all-in on box. He is going to go ahead and let go of this Cloud of Mind, okay? That's fairly important. This will allow Snaker to go ahead and pluck a card out of Kanturis' hand, although Kanturis can do the same if he attacks first, right? Or if he attacks into the Sacred Sanctuary here. So I think if he does political, then you go ahead and defend with the Investigator and Mitsu both. You can go ahead and investigate to get rid of, maybe the last Void Fist or another Let Go or another Fury, something like that. I think, that's 2 Let Go's burned already for him. 2 Let Go's burned, 2 Furies, 2 Void Fists. And yeah, he's just going to attack political at Resto instead. That's smart. It keeps the Mitsu from restanding. He's not ready to go in just yet. I think as Kanturis, I think you want to go ahead and defend here anyway, right? You want to go ahead and defend with the Investigator and just investigate him first before he investigates you. You can go ahead and put the Fate on wherever you want. I guess the risk is that this deck doesn't have conflict characters, right? And so you're not going to be able to pluck the Fate off the other rings. So he doesn't defend, and we are going to see Fate get put onto the Air Ring, and he chooses Let Go to be discarded. We get to see his hand now. So Cloud the Mind, Court Games, Defend Your Honor, Duelist Training, Find Katana, Formal Invitation, 2 Hawk Tattoos, another Let Go, Policy Debate, Return the Offense, Way of the Dragon. And I don't know why he's playing cards that I guess he's just breaking naturally, so he's going to have to discard stuff. So a lot of cards being played out here. Makes him discard 1 card, and it's going to be a Finger of Jade. So this Strengthful Philosopher is going to be the hero for Snaker. Interesting that he chose the Tranquil Philosopher and not the Monastery Protector, but I guess he just wants to sort of spread the wealth a little bit, but in doing so, that also means that you create easy targets for Mitsu to Duelist Training. Chooses to play Gossip here on Let Go. Now, I'm not quite sure what needs to be let go other than maybe the Finger of Jade. I would have maybe, looking at his hand, I maybe would have considered something else, right? So maybe the Duelist Trainings actually kind of mattered more here. And now we're going to see a Void Conflict. There is 1 Keeper in the bin for Kanturis. He's going to attack Fuchimura because it's safe. He will get about here. And Togashi Acolyte comes out of Monastery Protector. Okay. So that could be one potential reason why he wanted to do that instead. So you go ahead and investigate, take a look at what's in the rest of his hand. 2 Fate left for him. Hurricane Punch, Finger of Jade, and Let Go. I think you go ahead and pitch the Let Go here. He chose Hurricane Punch instead. I guess he just really wants to save himself from getting broken here. Alright, so now he has a Keeper. And the Hurricane Punch can definitely snowball with that, with the Togashi Acolyte. So, I don't think that this is a terrible position for Kanturis. I think that Sacred Sanctuary will allow him to stall out long enough for him to get back in this game. But right now, let's see. So a military conflict left. We know what's in his hand. We know it's Hurricane Punch and Let Go, or we know it's Finger of Jade and Let Go, right? So that's +2 stats. So we'll add +2 on top of whatever is here. So that's 4 and 8. +2 is 10. So you can get to a maximum of 10, and as long as Kanturis can stay above 5 total stats, then he should be fine. And it looks like, yeah. So Snaker's just going to go ahead and pass here. He doesn't want to take the risk. He wants to wait until next turn when he can actually do stuff with this Togashi Acolyte. So 2 Let Goes are burned now, and he gossiped Let Go, which means that now as Snaker, or now as Kanturis, you can actually go ahead and let go this Togashi Acolyte and be fine. This is not the best flop possible for Snaker. He gets an Ascetic Visionary, which is okay card. We're going to see Yokuni bought here, put extra fate on him. Maybe a little bit aggressive putting that much fate. You do need to make sure that you have enough fate to play all the cards that are in your hand. As well as investigate too if he attacks you first, right? But good news for Kanturis is that with Mitsu and Togashi and Yokuni now online, he should be able to weather the storm a little bit. Just representing raw stat. Oh, he buys the Mystic too. Okay. I guess he just wants to protect in case there's another Togashi Acolyte. Yeah, and I think that if I'm Kanturis, I feel pretty comfortable. I don't like this thing here because it could potentially represent a easy early Void Fist, and without the favorable ground that you had last time, then that can be kind of troublesome, right? But we've already seen 2 Void Fists be used. He's only had 16 cards left in his conflict deck, so there's a good chance that he hasn't seen the last Void Fist. And only 7 cards in hand, so this is the maximum of 7 buffs on the Togashi Acolyte. I think if you have Let Go, you just go ahead and play it first action on his attack on your box. That way, you don't have to play it now. If you play it now, that sort of counts against your 5-card total, right? And so you want to start resolving some ring effects in this conflict on your box. Alright, so both of them pass. Now we're going to see 2 things. Oh, no, okay, we're going to see all in military going to the stronghold. We already know what this is. This is Sacred Sanctuary. The Wall. Okay, he's actually selecting less people, and it's only going to be the Monastery Protector that goes in here instead. Alright, so he chooses to use Sacred Sanctuary on Mitsu here. I think it's probably okay. What you can do here is defend with both of these 2, yeah, and then you can go in and attack water with your next conflict, right? Or you can just resolve the water ring to bow out this Tranquil Philosopher. That'll keep you relatively safe for your last conflict. Mutant Mystic immediately discards the Togashi Acolyte. I would have just used the Let Go here, but this is fine too. The only reason I say use the Let Go instead is because I guess it depends on if Kanturis wants to start resolving the ring effects. If he's trying to do that, then yes, you want to use Let Go. If not, then let me see who's in here. And let me just let the Scottish players know that I will catch the next match. as well. I'll just go ahead and message him separately. I'm not going to put it in the chat. This is 2 focused times. He may be playing that for the upcoming water conflict. Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, so Snaker's going to pass. I think you just go ahead and wait here. There's no need for you to do this now, unless you really want to resolve some effects. So like if you wanted to do like double earth or something, then you do it now. Or if you want a high house, then you do it now. But I think you just wait in this situation. Alright, so that is going to be a win for Kanturis there. He's going to gain a Fate from Keeper of Void. And now he can go in and attack water, and then you'll have plenty of Fate to play the rest of his cards, right? So you'll have Way of the Dragon online, and he can play that on Mitsu and start resolving some stuff. Uh, 24 minutes on the clock left for Kanturis. I think he has plenty of time here. It will take him a little bit of time to break through the rest of the provinces since he's so far behind on Briggs. But he will get there eventually, it looks like. Snaker right now kind of struggling on resources. Alright, we're going to see a water conflict here, going political, so that way he gets the investigate. And then what's it going to be? Seeker of Void. We already see 1 Void province here, so the other one's probably Shameful. Oh my god. So Resto's here. Not what you wanted to hit. Definitely the worst possible province you could have hit in this situation, right? And so I think now you just need to start playing cards. And so here we go. So here's court games. We're going to see a let go on the Finger of Jade on the Tranquil Philosopher. And now you want to dump your attachments onto either Mitsu or Yokuni. He chooses to go with Yokuni, since Yokuni is going to be one who's defending this next conflict. Alright, that's 4 cards so far. I need to play 1 more. Probably see the Way of the Dragon slap down onto Yokuni here. That'll be the 5th conflict. Or the 5th card, rather. Now you can go ahead and Mitsu here. Play another Way of the Dragon on Mitsu. And Snaker draws the last let go. He uses it on this Way of the Dragon instead of the one that's on Yokuni. That's interesting. I maybe would have played it on the one on Yokuni to stop him from bowing out my entire board. But we're going to go ahead and high house here. Snaker's going to pass, and we're going to see Mitsu use a ring effect. Water Ring to bow the Tranquil Philosopher here. And then at this point, I think you're just out of actions that you can play. You're kind of low on money. You're going to have to discard some stuff here. I think if you had the Policy Debate in hand, you go ahead and get rid of that now. And then you kind of just have to eat the rest though. I think it's fine. I think if you have anything else that requires fate, just go ahead and do it now. I think he wants to save the fate for the investigator. So 8 cards are going to fall out of Kanturis' hand here. One thing maybe to consider instead in that situation, if you were Kanturis, instead of attacking with the Mitsu, maybe just go ahead and poke in with the Keeper. I know you really want to get that Water Ring resolved twice, but it does save you from this rather brutal resto. But it's not the worst thing in the world. It puts you actually only 2 cards down, and you got your important attachments out. And you know at this point that there are no more Lekos left in Snaker's deck. That was all 3 of them. And so for Snaker, this is going to be tough, right? Because despite the fact that Snaker has already been used, you still have to deal with this big old Mitsu. Not Mitsu, Yokuni. And right now you only have 6 cards in hand. Just the Ascetic Visionary, which I guess you could use on one of these 2 characters to bring him back into the conflict. And now let's see what got discarded. So 2 Duelist Trainings, a Court Games, a Policy Debate, Cloud the Mind, Return the Defense, Hawk Tattoo. Yeah, I mean these are all pretty reasonable, I think, to get rid of. I maybe would have just gone ahead and played one of the Duelist Trainings on Yokuni, but he already has 2 actions for that, right? So. I think you're okay. But that's 2 breaks now for Kanturis. He does need to fight his way into 1 more break. It's not going to happen this turn, probably. Just the political conflict left. Now Mitsu, I think, has to be a... Oh no, it's not even an unclaimed ring. So you can... If you can... Oh, you can't play 5 cards. You don't have 5 cards anymore. And we're going to see double defense here on this Earth Ring. We'll go ahead and spend the fate. You'll get it back anyway on this next attack. Take a card out of his hand. And he puts it on the Fire Ring, so he'll attack Fire, probably gets to honor Yokuni with this Keeper Initiate. Let's see what's in his hand. We already saw a couple things from last turn, from the last Investigate. Iron Foundation Stance. So that's the one that says can't be bowed, and draw a card. Prayers to Ebisu, okay. So yeah, so a lot of that stuff not super relevant going forward. None of these are political pumps. Other than the Seal of the Dragon, right? So I think Kanturis probably feels pretty safe winning this conflict. He uses the Ascetic Visionary to ready the Monastery Protector. That way he has a defender for this last conflict. I think Kanturis is probably just using the Keeper Initiative just to grab Fate instead. So that'll be that there. And now we'll see this Keeper Initiate poke in. He doesn't need to worry about Favor because he already has it. Or he already has 3 rings. Pokes in the Shameful Display. That's a little unfortunate because now this Monastery Protector can become honored and you give him a Fate too. But Really what you were looking for is just to grab the 3 fate off the fire ring. You'll be first player next turn, so you'll get 4 fate off of the air ring if you choose to go for that one. We do see a defense from the Monastery Protector, so that way we can get the Shameful trigger. Yeah, so we just see the Keeper Dishonored. Kanturis is going to win the glory count. And only the Keeper will be leaving from Kanturis' board. Meanwhile, that Tranquil Philosopher that had a whole bunch of stuff on it is gone to the Wasteland. So, this looks pretty good so far for Kanturis. He does see a Mitsu dupe and a Proving Grounds. That'll help him rebuild his board a little bit. Meanwhile, only some chuds for Snaker. Just having the Yoshi and the Togashi Initiate here. He's definitely going to need a lot more stats if he wants to contest this board from Kanturis. Alright, looks like the crab matchup is going to start because it's starting to get late in the UK. So right after this game is done, I'm just going to roll straight over to the crab mirror match. So 5 bids for both players. 8 and 10 conflict cards left for both of them. But really, this is just a fight for them to stay alive. And so I guess interesting that we didn't see Kanturis buy this Tranquil Philosopher. I feel like you might as well just go ahead and do it, unless you gutted a lot of attachments out of your hand last turn, so there's not a whole lot left for you. He goes into the Shameful on political for this attack. Gets all the fate. Yeah, I mean, like, if you buy the Tranquil Philosopher, it pays for itself whenever you attack this air ring, so I don't know what you're going to do with this other 14 fate. We do see the defense here with Ascetic Visionary. And a Togashi Acolyte gets put onto the Monastery Protector. Okay, that's one way that you can possibly get yourself back into this. We do know that Tamago still, not Tamago, Kanturis does still have another Let Go, I think. Oh no, all 3 are gone, so that Acolyte's going to be sticking there for a second. And Kanturis is just going to pass. Doesn't use the Investigator. Now he does it. I guess maybe he forgot. So, lucky save, I guess, if that's the case. And chooses to discard the last Togashi Acolyte, so... Let's take a look at his hand. 7 fate available for him, so he could play any combination of these cards and have it be effective. So that'd be +7 on top of whatever he has here. So if he attacked political, actually military or political, I think it's both equal right now. Maybe one more stat favored for military. Tattooed Wanderer now comes out on the Monastery Protector. And this is starting to get dangerous. So we do see the break on the Shameful. Mitsu isn't going to trigger here. Has he remembered to copy the Mitsu? I don't know. I don't think so. But this is going to be an all-in attack now on the Stronghold. And Yokuni's not going to be able to defend this. So we're just going to see Mitsu and the Doom Shugenja by themselves. And I don't know if they have enough stats to counteract this. How many Hawk Tattoos have been burned? I think only 2. So we could see another Hawk Tattoo. We do see the Formal Invitation gone as well. Mantra of Fire is going to draw 2 cards. And so I think that if you were to win this conflict, you would need to have the last Hawk Tattoo. Hawk Tattoo going to come out on the Ascetic Visionary. He chooses to use High House of Light now on Mitsu. We do know that there is still 1 Void Fist left. The Ascetic Visionary is going to stand up. And this could actually possibly be it for Kanturis. If he didn't see that last Hawk Tattoo, then that's probably game. Okay, we see Dragon Tattoo now come out on Mitsu. So 2 policy debates have been used already. If he has the last one, he can use that twice to draw 2 cards with the Proving Ground, and hopefully find him that Hawk Tattoo he needs to survive this. Alright, Iron Foundation Stance comes out on the Ascetic Visionary. We see Defend Your Honor played now. Kanturis is going to pay the 1 fate to target him. Snaker bids 5. We are going to cancel the Iron Foundation Stance, and that prevents the additional pump on this from this Tagashi Acolyte. Oh no, sorry, it actually still happens. I lied. And now we see Void Fist used on the Ascetic Visionary. He still has plenty of cards to continue pump over this. And so as Kanturis, you really need to find that last Hawk Tattoo. 7 cards in hand. A lot of non-events, so if he's sitting on a bunch of the Defend Your Honors, they're not going to be useful in this situation. Return the Offense. The Dual Yoshi. Water Ray can bow them though, the 2 without fate. Yes, that is true. But I think that I think that this Monastery Protector can just get big enough by himself to go over the top with +5, right? So these 2 constitute +4. And if you just play out the rest of your hand, it's going to be +5. Prayers to Ebisu gets played now. And Snaker's going to put himself at 1 honor. And that lets him draw a card. Only 2 fate left. I don't know how many free cards he still has in his hand. Kanturis is going to go and pass here. Did he weather the storm? I think it's possible. So he's going to use the Tagashi Initiate. Now we're going to use the Water Ring on that guy. He's going to get bowed. This is a fire conflict. Finger Jade now gets played on the Yoshi. That puts Snaker out of fate. Seal the Dragon now comes down. Okay, that's one more stat. 12-11 now for this Monastery Protector. Centipede Tattoo. Only one card left. That's only +1/+1, which is not enough to be breaking in this situation. And so now Kanturis is going to go ahead and Policy Debate. Finger Jade's going to be used to cancel it. Policy Debate again with the Dragon Tattoo. And that'll take out the last card for Snaker, which means that he'll be fine. It's just the Ancient Masterlife. He didn't have enough faith to play it anyway. And so Snaker's going to win this conflict, but now he's completely out of cards, completely out of honor. Wait a second, hang on. Why didn't he just use the Mitsu to resolve the air ring? He could have just won right there. That seems silly. But yeah, okay. That's fine though. He wins the conflict. He's gonna lose, and now the Yoshi's still standing. We're gonna see Yokuni now rumble in to the last province with Mitsu on military. He has no pumps in hand, so it's just going to be both of them attacking raw military at the stronghold, and this should be enough to break. I believe this will also be Sacred Sanctuary. Yes, it is. This will restand the Monastery Protector, who's at a 6, plus Yoshi, who is at a 8. Okay, but that's going to be it, though. And so GG goes out. And yeah, so this Crab Mirror match is now, in fact, the rubber match for the series. 3-3 is the score for Scotland versus Chile. And we're going to run over there before that game goes too far underway.